Welcome to Visual Scale Modelling. This is part 26 of the DeAgostini Star Wars Millennium Falcon build. Scale is 1:43. In this part, I'm going to be finishing off the mandibles and attaching them, and moving on to placing some of the inner works inside the hull. So let's jump into this and see how I get on. Starting off with issue 90, and on issue 90 it's just dealing with more parts onto the mandibles. There's various parts to go on here, just filling in the blanks of the mandibles. The location points are fairly straightforward at this stage. Later on I do have to hunt and study the images to see exactly where everything goes, but on the whole everything went on quite well. There are slight differences on each mandible, but nothing of noteworthy really that I show. I mean, really the parts are very small as well. Well, some of them are. I'm just showing you here the larger parts that I can get to focus in on the camera. I'm just placing on the last part for this issue now. As you can see, it fits in quite easy enough. Could be a little bit fiddly finding the location points, but as I said, it worked out okay. Going on to issue 91, and this is the issue says the diffuser for the lights going in at the back of the engines, as well as more parts actually getting built inside the Falcon itself now. First painting, and it's 83 Rust by Rebel Aqua color. And what I'm doing here is I'm just dulling down the pre-painted colour here. It's too shiny, it looks flat as well. I just don't like the pre-painted colour. So I'm just putting some of this rust colour over it to make it come alive more. So I'm just scoring the paint on, again not using any finesse like I've done in previous parts of the video, just marking up the area. I'm then going over to Rebel Aqua color 36 Carmine Red, and on the same area where I put the rust color, just adding a little bit more depth to the color and giving it a different tone throughout. Then moving on to Rebel Aqua color 76 light grey, and this is the color that I'm using to put weather marks on the surface and highlighting panels in a darker grey colour compared to the sort of beigey colour that it is. So again, I'm using my dry brush here, just hardly putting any paint on and just flicking it on the actual model and dabbing it on, as you can see here. And I'm going to be doing this throughout both mandibles. And then it's Rebel Aqua color 15 yellow, and this is just adding more highlights to the surface. I'm using the yellow in conjunction with the rust and things like that, it sort of gives like a scotch marks, like the surface has been hit by a laser blast or something like that. So it detects old wounds as such. So now I'm using Tamiya's Weathering Master Series C and the gunmetal component. As I've explained before, this is the main part of the weathering process for this pigment. So anywhere that I want the weathering to be really deep and heavy, I'll put this pigment on between the panel lines as well. And then I'm going on to finally Tamiya's XS 55 Deck Tan, and this colour is just a slightly off colour to the actual model itself. So this is just giving again more tone to the areas that I've already painted, and of course if I feel that I've gone too heavy in parts, I can use this paint just to cover it up. And now it's painted, I can attach the mandibles. As you can see, they fit on these brackets here, 6 points on each bracket, so 12 in total, and they're held together with little screws. It was quite tricky to get in, so my hand sort of in the way here, me tried to screw them in. But if I lift up my hand, you can just about see them going in. Then once the mandibles are on, I'll just move the camera a little bit. I can then attach the cables to the circuit board. And now to the diffuser. This clear part, well, it's opaque part of the protective film that I have to take off. So I've just taken it off. I stopped my camera a little bit to dig into it. But there's a little housing runs right along the frame that this sits into. Now the instructions say don't glue it in, but I think if you're ever doing this kit, glue it in because it keeps on falling out otherwise. So next is just to put the components in. These sit on a few lugs inside the hull there, and they just sit on, they're raised as well, so you're not able to get them flush, but after a bit of research I found that's how it's meant to go, and they just get pushed down. Now later on I will be taking these out and placing them back in, just as I'm working on it, but they are meant to go in at this stage. So I've put in the main unit and then just adding in the corridors. And I'll just move the camera so that you can see the other main corridor in there. And then next to go in is the other smaller corridor, and these just push fit in to the actual main unit. Moving on to issue 92, and with this issue I'll be putting in the brackets that is going to hold the upper hull section. There's about 6 of these brackets I have to place in, and they all go in the exact same way. There's a little location points that span up from the frame that they sit into, and they're just held in with 2 screws. Obviously when I put the top on, another 2 screws will fit onto the top, but it's quite crucial at this stage that I don't tighten them up too much, because I will need a bit of movement while fitting the top. There's 2 upright brackets I'm placing as well. These are more support beams for the upper hull that the hull just rests on. So this is the only part that I have to secure these 2 brackets to. I'm placing in the first one now, but the second one goes in the opposite end pretty much the same way. And the last thing to do is to place the smaller corridor leading up to the gun corridors. There's a connections section that goes in from the gun well there. I found it very difficult to fit. In fact, as you can see there, I cut it, took it off, and tried to fit it before I'm placing it all in. So as you can see there, I'm just trying to line it all up so I can get everything in proper alignment. So while I'm trying to figure this out, I'll end part 26 here. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds, including this one. If you've subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, leave a comment, and make sure you hit that like button. And don't forget to share the video. But in the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.